Okay, so we're logged into our WordPress now and we're going to configure PayPal. PayPal is a very important payment capture system, primarily because of its market saturation. A lot of consumers, especially a lot of consumers in the United States, are using PayPal as a way to sort of anonymize transactions online and keep their information safe, right? So with PayPal, you don't need to give over credit card details. You just need to have an email address, and PayPal will handle a lot of the workload. They have all your information stored on their servers, and they can connect to it via an API without the customer having to input sensitive credit card details. So it's important that you have PayPal set up on your online store, because you could potentially be missing out on lots of business if you don't do so. So let's get started here and let's install PayPal with WooCommerce and integrate it with WooCommerce. Now, there is a prerequisite that you need to be aware of when you're setting up PayPal for WooCommerce. You need a PayPal business account. So I'm going to leave this PayPal landing page here for PayPal Business onto this description here for YouTube, so you can take a look and you can sign up. Okay, it's free to open up a PayPal business account. So you just click on the sign up button here if you haven't already done so, and you can put in the details of your business and follow the prompts. So assuming you already have a PayPal business account and that's set up, you can follow the steps. So we're going to go to our WordPress dashboard, and we're going to go to plugins and click on plugins like so. Once we click on plugins like so, we're going to add new. Once we add new, we're just going to simply type PayPal. I have already typed it here, so just type it if you don't see that here. And we're going to set up PayPal for WooCommerce. So WooCommerce PayPal Payments is this first option here, and it's a plugin that's developed by WooCommerce. Now, there are 400,000 active installations, and this got a 2-star rating. Now, I wouldn't look too much into this 2-star rating. I have tested this plugin thoroughly, and I have it on live websites. Okay, so many live websites, and there have been no problems. So when people typically have an axe to grind, 235 people, because it didn't do one thing they didn't like, the rating suffers, right? But this is a very good, stable plugin that's developed by WooCommerce, which is owned by Automatic, the company that actually operates and owns the WordPress and WordPress trademarks. So let's go ahead and click on install now, and let's activate it. So for this demonstration, I already have a PayPal business account. So I'm going to log into my own PayPal. It's a demo account. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to log in. I'm going to show you why you need to log in order to do what's called an API connection when we set this up. So I'm just going to log in here. And then I'm going to go back to my WordPress installation once I'm logged into my PayPal account. And we're going to go to WooCommerce, and we're going to go to settings. Once we get to WooCommerce and settings, we're going to go to payments like so, and we're going to look for PayPal. As you can see, PayPal is here. It's already ticked on. So we're going to click on manage. And for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to disconnect the API connection that I already have with PayPal. And for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to click just activate PayPal. So when you first come to this page, you're going to see PayPal checkout. This is the first option that's going to be selected. You're going to see all of these. You can read into this, but this is just telling you what the fees are. So this is for advanced credit card processing, and this is for the standard processing. So the standard processing is the free option here. Okay, so you want to use this right here. If you want the advanced credit card processing, that requires a separate PayPal account, a PayPal Pro account. And these are the transaction fees for the PayPal Pro account. So the PayPal Pro account is a small approval process. They do run a consumer report just to make sure that you are a established business and that you haven't committed sort of like you're not on any list for financial fraud or whatever. But they do a consumer credit check, not necessarily a credit check, but a consumer report and some background checking. So like I said, most people who even apply for the advanced credit card processing do get it. So it's not anything that has to do with your credit or anything. It has to do with if you're on any mostly financial fraud list, right? And you have defrauded users. Hopefully that is not you. But anyways, for most people, please select standard credit card processing. Make sure this is selected, securely accept major credit cards, strength of PayPal network. And you just want to click on activate PayPal. And this is going to take you to the PayPal authentication screen. So you have to be logged into PayPal in order to connect your PayPal. That's why I logged into my PayPal. So we're going to hit continue. Your email address should pop up there. We're going to hit next. It's going to force you to log in. You can also log in from the screen too. So we want to agree and connect. And as you can see, it is all set. You're going to get a thank you for signing up, meaning signing up for the store. We're going to go back to WooCommerce developers. And as you can see, the PayPal gateway is enabled. It is that simple. So on this screen, you're going to have your email address, your merchant ID, your client ID, your live secret key, because it connected to the PayPal API, okay, using what's called an O authentication method. Now that's some gibberish just for API connection, okay? But the O authentication inputted all of these details. So obviously I blocked out these details here because these are my own business ID credentials. But when we come to this screen here, we want to make sure that everything we want to enable, make sure the PayPal is enabled on the checkout. Now, that would be up here actually. Okay, but for some of the ancillary stuff, like customizing the large PayPal buttons on checkout, they look pretty weird. So I would deselect this by default. There's just these big buttons on checkout that says pay with PayPal. I think it's kind of annoying, but you can leave it selected. I personally prefer to deselect this and enable the message on checkout. So basically pay later. PayPal has a program where the users can pay later on checkout. Is similar to like Klarna and Afterpay. So PayPal has its own little program for that. So you can do that. You will be compensated. Nothing extra. It's just that you will be charged your regular fees and the customer will be doing a type of layaway. So this right here can actually help you increase your business depending on your business types with your well, obviously this is the business type is e-commerce, but for certain products that are very expensive, for instance, like high ticket items, this could definitely be advantageous in helping you get conversions and then enable buttons on single product. I think this is annoying. The big PayPal buttons on the product display page. It's not very good for the aesthetic of the website. So I will leave this deselected as well and enable message on single product. You can disable that. Again, there's big PayPal buttons that say pay with PayPal right on the product display page. And I'll show you what that looks like when we actually start installing our themes and adding products. So the button on cart, you don't need that too. Again, that's kind of annoying. Enable message on cart, we can deselect that as well. Enable on the mini cart, we can disable that as well. Okay, it's not very good for the aesthetic of the web page, and it does interfere with some of the template/theme styling. Okay, because some themes come with their own inherent checkout button styling, so we don't want PayPal to interfere with that. So we just want to leave everything the way it is that we set up here. Okay, we want to make sure this is selected, enable it on checkout, and then everything else deselected. Right. All right, so this is how you set up PayPal. Let's move on.